Alrighty, we're live.
Hola, Madridistas. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. It's been a while. It has been a little more longer than we expected, but the way the season ended, we pretty much knew, there's going to be wholesale changes, wholesale signings, but I didn't expect it to be this good, this favorable, this exciting a period for us. I think this this is on course, to be somewhere along the 2009, transfer window. Obviously, the 2009 transfer window is tough to be matched. The uh, the magnitude of those signings were on a different planet, but we have something similar. A new wave, a new generation of talents on their way to the Bernabeu. And man, I can't honestly, keep myself, on the ground, to be honest, because this is something that we have been all crying out for. Some statement signings, and we have done quite a few already. Bellingham, Joselu isn't exactly a statement signing, but it's much needed depth. Arda Güler, like we touched upon Arda Güler in the last special, and we were quite not so confident about where he would fit in among our already super stacked midfield midfield how do you put
Bro,
it, the
yeah,
midfield,
yeah,
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 the
just the
midfield block,
midfield.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could say it, yeah, midfield block. So but still, man, Arda Güler, it's funny, like I was telling Mo the other day, I didn't actually hear about Arda Güler much up until the day he scored in the champion in the Europa in the European qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken, the banger. But yeah, man, it was so much easier than I thought, and he's already in the house. Also, for people watching in and who will be listening on in our audio platforms later on, the Arda Güler special is um, scheduled to be done tomorrow. That is Sunday. Is it the 9th? Yeah, 9th of July, 3 p.m. EST. We'll be joined by a Turkish football expert. He's a close friend of Farouk's. So he's not exactly a Fener fan. He's a Besiktas fan. So, but still, he has some very in-depth knowledge about the kid and Turkish football scene in general. So I'm very much looking forward to it. But yeah, man, bigger fish to fry. Fortunately or unfortunately today, Mbappe, talking the talk like usual. Um, to break it down, we have our esteemed panel, usual suspects, Jacob and Doris. I'll come to you, Doris, first. How is it going, bro? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. My mom just called me to eat something, but yeah, I've been finishing up college, so that's probably why you haven't seen me in a while. But with all this transfer talk, finally after the season ended, at least there's something to talk about, because we've talked about how we felt about the season we that just ended, and yeah, there's finally some positivity, after the last month and all the feelings we had about it.
100%. The way the season ended, man, I couldn't wait for it to finish. But Jacob, bro, how's it going? Talk to me.
All good, bro. Like, I did not expect this transfer window to take like this positive turn because remember when that fan asked, Fiorentino, "Hey, Pressy, is there gonna be new signings?" He just flat out said no, and then that was the end of all of my hopes and dreams. But now look at us. We got Arda, and then we're potentially looking at Mbappe. Who could foresee this?
100%. Yeah. I vividly remember, when that when that TikTok was like surfacing all over the internet. Like I had this feeling, why would Perez, be showing his cards, way before anything of significance was happening. So it just made sense, like to play down any nonsensical rumors to just um, keep our rivals in check. I think it was a good diplomatic, or you could say a sly move from Perez to just outright say there won't be any signings. But I was pretty confident, like if you're gonna go into the season with Jose Lu as your number nine, we in Real Madrid, bro. We might be Plymouth, or Portsmouth, or someone of that like. But for us to really compete and stake our European claim back, we need someone like Mbappe. Um, Last year, I remember it was Farouk and Farouk, me and Mo, and we had this tension in the room, about how we felt Mbappe, completely ditching us, and creating all that drama for no reason, and we basically vowed to never speak about him again. But we, pretty much knew within ourselves that come a point in time where Benzema needs to move on, when there needs to be a clear succession plan in the strikers department. Mbappe would be the obvious choice, the perfect fit. His profile, his achievements, his game speaks for itself. And we all knew that we would be back here again. We were back here a couple of weeks back. It had a slight optimistic approach, didn't it, Jacob? Even though we knew it might take a while, and it's nothing concrete yet. But what happened today, I think, doubles down on our feelings.
Oh heck yeah, man! Like even last time we were like almost in the sense of like, have you seen the San Andreas meme where it's like, ah shit, here we go again, because we're used to his tactics by now. We just thought, hey, he just wants more money, so maybe that's his play. Maybe that's why he like started it all over again. And we were very skeptical, but then like this time things are different now, because there's a different feeling around the camp, from the players and from the PSG side. So things are looking a lot possible and optimistic.
Things are definitely looking up. Before we get into the whole timeline about how this went underway, the whole Mbappe situation, let's get into a few of the comments. Big up the chat, man. Much love to all of you, because this stream wasn't given enough time to build itself, because this was scheduled like 1 hour before. Jacob, we kind of decided to do this out of the blue. We really didn't know if it was worth it, to be honest, because Jacob was constantly reminding me, do we have to really trust this guy again? Are we going to really jump on this train so soon? But here we are, man. We need to talk about it, because I think this summer might be a real chance. There might be a real chance that he might move for the Bernabeu. Right. Big up Hassan, big up Mus. Nightbot's moving mad, man. Hassan says, Arda Guller. Yeah, Hassan has always had an issue with the Nightbot. We should probably ask our IT engineer Yadu to give the Nightbot a few tweaks, because he's behaving with our guests so badly, man. He
Yep.
needs to be taken off the payroll, at this point, because it's been a while. He's mistreating our
Bro, like,
guests.
what do you think about like
Yeah.
having Chat GPT like moderating the chat?
Chat GPT,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because see, if it mentions someone like Cruz, Chat GPT might go to some unforeseen conversations where we will have to put up an NSF W tag beside it, because Chat GPT is mad. You can't predict what it's doing. But I
Bro,
know
like
you're
literally, okay. So, guys, just for context, we were researching about Mbappe and some of the transfer news that was going on. Okay, so tried to take a shortcut. I just went to Bing Chat and told it to, hey, give me like all the proper popular transfer things that have happened this window. And then the things it spit out were mad, like Jadon Sancho to PSG, Mbappe to Man United, and shit like that. Like it's just not dependable anymore. And I don't know, man.
100%. You could just see, Chat GPT is ruining lives. Like I don't know if you guys have seen Rashford's post for De Gea.
Yeah.
where he has made a total mess of an attempt to type out heartfelt emotional farewell letter to one of the greatest goalkeepers of the modern era. But unfortunately, he's caught red-handed, man. It's not a good look. I'm telling you, it's not a good look.
What happened? What happened?
Jacob, do you want to take the honor?
Sure. So he wanted to like do a post about something like I don't know. I don't remember what the occasion was. But it was something like winning a game or something. And so apparently he put in like a prompt, hey, like give me a good speech for like winning this match, and and then he copy pasted the whole thing, and people could like replicate it with Chat GPT, and he got caught red-handed like sending messages to his like team and what and his fans just using Chat GPT and not caring.
It was today. I don't think it was regarding a game. It was regarding a farewell letter for De Gea.
Oh yeah.
Doris, you could just search it up on Twitter. Just
So
type out
this is
Rashford.
this is the second time it's happened. Like I remember this happening last season after a like important game.
With Rashford? With
Yep.
Rashford?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know about the first occurrence. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
apparently Rashford is like a serial ChatGPT user.
My God. So honestly, hey, this puts a new light, into Rashford's entire public persona, because he's someone who is looked up to by a lot of young kids in England, and how he's a role model and whatnot. The long essays he types, initially it used to be really applauded, but after the results kind of dwindled, people were like, this guy is a master master craftsman at typing fucking essays. But now the Chat GPT stuff kind of makes me question the legitimacy of his words. Man, this is mad, man. 2023 social media is insane. Right, Doris, I hope you found it. You can easily find it if you haven't already. Yeah.
I will. I didn't hear about that at all.
Right,
But I
right,
saw,
right,
yeah, I saw that the guy is living, but not what what he wrote about that. But I will check it out.
right, right. It's kind of difficult to explain. It basically, it begins with something like conversation points, or I don't know, but you can make out from the passage that it's a prompt that someone puts it into Chat GPT, basically. But Emerson here, he says if Mbappe wants to actually compete, he needs to come to the Premier League and join Arsenal, not some luxury club. Well, 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 well. See, I've got so much respect for Arsenal. People pretty much know that I have a soft spot, soft spot, for Arsenal as a club, and how they run and whatnot. But come on, man, let's be realistic. Arsenal gotta be looking at people like what's his name, even Tony, and those kind of guys to actually get them back to their way before they can even think about someone like Mbappe. And with all due respect, um, yeah, Jacob did reply to Emerson, pretty rudely. Man, you shouldn't be so outright blunt with your comments, man. Come on, you should be treating our guests with respect,
Come on,
Jacob.
man. He was
Um,
taking the piss,
the,
just like Mo said, like later. He was like putting Arsenal and Mbappe in the same sentence. Come on.
I don't know, some journalists, I think, was it for the Athletic or someone, they were linking up Mbappe and Arsenal, and I was rolling my eyes the entire time, because to feed a few mouths, these guys would go to any extent. It's mad. Hassan says, Elmao, he cooked PSG. There's no way he goes back there. Uh, Madrid TV says Mbappe is coming. Here we go very soon. Big up Madrid TV, man. Um, Seeing you around for ages, everywhere. Big up yourself. Mo is in the chat. Okay, says the audacity to mention Mbappe and Arsenal in the same sentence. Shaking my head. Emerson's clap back. What did he say? Arsenal are the second most expensive squad on the wall now, above Real Madrid. Just think the best player in the world needs to prove it in the best league, otherwise he'll be outshined by Haaland. Well, my friend, the very the best league that you claim Premier League to be have always, all throughout history, lost their best of the best players to La Liga, man. Come on. So I don't understand why this, obsession with, best players playing in the best league, always has to, coincide for them to be great. I don't share the same sentiment, unfortunately.
Insecurities. Insecurities. That's all it is. Because if you need to, constantly,
Validate
tell
yourself.
people how that is the best league, and I think you are trying to, convince yourself of that. I'm not saying that it's not, because definitely at the moment it is. But what what does that matter? That would mean that you are not allowed to play in any other league because you're just supposed to go to the Premier League. It's not the Champions League, dude. It's not the Champions League. And if anything, it's more of a success if you're saying that it's the best league, to win with other teams that are not from that league. But, it's a different conversation that, I mean, I think it's a waste of time to even talk about it with people because it's disrespectful to everyone that's not in the Premier League. Absolutely every other player on the planet is disrespectful because you're not validating their careers. If I played, I don't know, if in Italy, in France, Germany, any of the big leagues, I wouldn't feel nice about it. Like it is a big achievement for any player to play in the big, I don't know, eight leagues, I would say. But playing in Premier League, it is an achievement, but still, it's. I feel it's disgusting the way people are talking about the Premier League because if you just shut up about it, I would respect you for it. But let's just move on from that. It
Man,
pisses
like,
me off when people talk the privilege, dude. The
Jacob,
privilege.
can you see my hands shaking? Because I've never seen Doris this mad,
yeah.
man. Because
Oh no, like
Emerson.
I've like experienced some of these rants, especially like after some La Liga games last season. So yeah, I've missed these rants, and it's good to have you back, Doris.
100%, Emerson got the blunt share of it, but yeah, man, nothing personal. What she was doing was just spitting facts. Uh,
I mean, it's
Unfortunately for you.
disrespectful. It's just
Mm.
disrespectful. You're invalidating all 20 teams in this league. Like no one matters because Southampton is obviously better than Sevilla, Lagal, or anyone else in this league.
That, that's
Like,
what
come
that's
on.
that's what the Premier League fanatics always claim to me. Doris, Aston Villa is a better club than Sevilla. Everton is a bigger club
Bro,
than Sociedad.
the takes I've heard from people about like the lowest leagues, the lowest clubs from the Premier League or even like the League One or the Championship, they think like those teams are better than most Spanish teams just because there's no arguments there. They just are. Have you seen them play? They're a quality. I'm like, dude, just this isn't football manager. Put some respect on all leagues. Thank you.
It's the money. When you have money, you have voice, bro. I think that's what happens. The championship has a lot more money than some of the smaller teams in La Liga. That's a fact. So when they are on that kind of wages, when they can afford to spend that much money, um, when they eventually get to the Premier League and whatnot, you can just take a look at how much Nottingham Forest spent this last season, close to over 100 million or something close to it. So this is an age old argument that's never going anywhere. But Doris, I wanna give you a yellow card for sneaking in the Croatian league. Because you basically stated the top 8 leagues. I thought probably you were
Croatian
mentioning.
league is, trust me, not in the top 20 or 30 in Europe.
Nah, nah, you're being harsh. You're being harsh. But anyway.
I will, I will happily live stream you one game, in my city just to show you how those people play. I've been saying for a while. It's literally like grandpas on Sunday, meeting up with their friends, just shooting some ball. Every ball goes out for a throw in. Like no one can reach the ball that someone passes because they're too slow. It's ridiculous. And not to say like my team is like all the way down in like eighth division or something in Croatia. That's something.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So probably when you turn 80, you can see them in the first division. Doris.
Yeah,
Best
if
of
we
best of
don't
luck for
go
that.
bankrupt again, and someone else buys it and all that, I got it.
Slumdog Millionaire. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, man. Keep your hopes high. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the banter. A couple more here, interesting ones. Um, Arpit Bhaskar says either Mbappe. No, not that one. I think it was Emerson's reply again, not saying Arsenal are going to get him. Mbappe is way too expensive. But if Mbappe prioritizes career over money, he would take a pay cut and take on the challenge of dethroning City. Mm. Well. See, the challenge is mouth watering. I'm not gonna lie, but with Arsenal, I don't think his legacy would reach the same stature it would with us. Unfortunately, for you Gunners, these two clubs are one of the biggest supported money wise, history wise, one of the best in what they do. But Arsenal's clear lack of European pedigree is always gonna beat them down in these kind of conversations. Unfortunately, they can't even win a fucking Europa League, which is absolutely embarrassing, for a team of Arsenal's magnitude. But yeah, man, let's get into Mbappe. 30 minutes into the screen, into the stream. Smash the like if you haven't already. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. On the road to 1K, we would love to make to see that happen, before the start of next season. It would mean so much, man. This has been 2 years of madness, blood, sweat, and tears to make this happen. Right, Jacob, our our information hub, guide us through the timeline, man. Where should we begin?
I mean, let's begin right from the start. Why not? Because last season we were like very confused. He was giving us mixed signals. But this time there has been like a clear timeline, and I feel like Mbappe has had a plan. Um, so, with regards to that, let's start right at the beginning where he sent the letter to PSG saying, "Hey, like it's all cool though, but I'm not gonna be extending my contract. So thanks for all the good times, and I'm hoping to like play and then still get the loyalty bonus and leave for free for next season." That's where we started at, and that's when we kind of felt the rumblings of maybe something's gonna happen, but we weren't really sure.
Fair, fair. So that basically set the tone for what we are you know reading day in day out. Um, so my single question to all of this is, right, I'm going to come to you, Doris, first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have been in and out, half-heartedly following this whole saga, like most of us here. Like, we don't want to get overly invested because we have been hurt before, with this Mbappe thing. But there is definitely some more substance to it, unlike the years before this year, right?
Yeah, definitely. But still, it is a tough situation that we would need a whiteboard here just to go through all the connections that are happening right
Or
now and everything
the
that's
meme
future.
from it's Sunny in Philadelphia, right? The guy
The
pointing to
one
the
with
board.
the that one. But still, like if we go like from last season, just last season and everything that happened and that he signed a contract, they paid him like hundreds of millions. It is still like unknown, but we are expecting that it was 90 plus 90 plus the loyalty or something like that. Anyway, I said it on Reddit somewhere or something. That plus 1 year is just an expensive loan. I don't know what they were thinking signing him for 2 plus 1. For that much money. If you're gonna sign him, like do it like with Vinicius and Rodrigo. You sign him for a lot of years, not for a lot of money. That doesn't talk that doesn't speak for your player in a good way that he wants to stay there. Like you gave him the option of staying only 2 years plus one, and now you want to take it away from him. That loyalty bonus that you have is loyal to stay one more year, and we're gonna sell you or whatever. So you give us money for that. You get money, blah blah blah. But that's only if he extends. The only way he can take that if he runs down his contract. No other way. So what did they expect was gonna happen? It's a win-win situation for him anyway. He leaves, it's a win for him because it's PSG, and if it stays, it's 90 million, dude. It's 90 million, and I wouldn't blame him for that. Even last season, I was one of the only people here saying I don't blame him for staying at all. Like, of course, we were mad for like the way he did all that, but I wasn't mad at him for staying at PSG at all. Like, he had a chance to play with Neymar, Messi, Ramos. Those are all like incredible players, and fuck him for believing in that they're gonna win someday. But he believed in that. It's his city. It would be something for him to win it there. But now it's end of story with that. Messi left. Neymar is all over the place. No one knows what's up with them. The entire team is all over the place. The only player there that's something is Mbappe, and he's leaving now. Definitely. I mean, this year or next season, he's definitely not gonna stay in PSG. So it's just a matter of time. But still, the other part we need to talk about is how is Mbappe gonna play in our squad. He's definitely gonna improve it because he's the kind of player that is definitely gonna improve us. But in what way? What are we gonna need to do for him to improve us? Because he doesn't want to play as a nine. That was clear from last season and the Instagram and all that. But also, there is another topic about Mbappe. He will be a huge story for us for the entirety that he plays for us, if he does, which he probably will. But still, there's so much to talk about that player, and there's still a lot of feelings if we even should be having him in our team. Not for the way he did all that, but in general, should he be in our team? It's Mbappe, so of course he should, but in what way? And how is he gonna act? How are we gonna act? What is our
It's
team
it's
gonna do
uh,
for the way he acts?
it's very
It's
simple.
just
Playing down the middle, his stat speaks for itself. It's insane. The goals per minute, the goals per 90, assists per 90. It's on a different level compared to when he plays left wing or right wing. Right wing is his worst, where he perform for. Well, he actually performs the worst. The stats points towards CF, being his most optimal position. But it's a conversation we're gonna have when he finally joins. Um, but I completely share the sentiment that last year you were one of the sole people here who were kind of sympathizing with what kind of a predicament Mbappe was put in, where me I'm always the guy who goes with my heart, who just doesn't take the reality into the equation. The amount of money he's on, 90 million per year. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. But Jacob, man, the letter that he sent to PSG, like you told us, does that indicate that he wants to burn the bridges, quicker than what others anticipated, sooner than what people expected?
I feel like his camp weren't expecting PSG to retaliate like in a certain manner. So let's just move on from there. Like after that, immediately after he sent, PSG had a rebuttal, and they sent him a letter, apparently saying, "Hey, you need to extend by July, or you will get sold this summer, and we're not going to entertain the possibility of you leaving on a free." And I feel like because it's a lot of money, right? The loyalty bonus, and I feel like Mbappe did not envision that PSG would react in this way. And so
Mm.
Doris was saying, so why did PSG just offer him like a 2+1 deal? I feel like they covered all of their bases. They are like in the situation they were looking for, so they can probably get a transfer record fee. They still got to have Mbappe in the team before the World Cup rolls around for Qatar, and it was a good move for both France as well as for Qatar. So I feel like they had nothing to lose when they signed him on this particular deal.
It
Well,
was a
I mean, that is a club that, has 200, 300 million expendable for, that kind of player,
Yep.
for only 2 years plus one, which it shows that they had no leverage in that transfer. It
they
was
never
all
had
him.
leverage, Doris.
They never had
It's
leverage in that. So that's all that they can get, So it's they shouldn't be surprised that it got to this, because if he wanted to, he would have done it already. And they're already paying him insane amounts of money, and that they even, accepted 2 years, 2 years for 200, 300. It doesn't matter how much it was. Still, that shouldn't happen. And it would, like, if this was for Madrid, we would say that player is disrespectful for even asking that. But they are not in that position, obviously. So I think it's just best if they both part ways, because they are just gonna spend insane amounts of money building a squad for him, in which he won't be in the next few years. So even if he stays for, I don't know, 2 or 3 more years, not much is gonna happen for them, because that rebuild part already happened, which didn't work. And they put everything they had, everything, not obviously not everything. They still have more from somewhere, but they got Messi, Neymar, Ramos. As I said, they got incredible, expensive players. That didn't happen. He believed in them. That didn't happen. They gave him a lot of freedom to do whatever he wants, even the freedom to speak publicly about what positions he wants to play and be like that, which shouldn't ever happen for your club. And some other player got absolutely obliterated online for speaking his mind about minutes of what he wanted to play. But okay, not saying that he shouldn't have, but just saying, that is Mbappe. And whatever we talk about, we still need to talk about what is he gonna do good for us. Because if our team turns into a bunch of, excuse me, pussies because of him, and just listening to him, I'm done to it. I'll go to Madrid myself to kick him out. But still, you know, it
Doris, I'm
it's
gonna.
just it will be an incredible signing. But PSG got them, you know, into that situation by themselves.
Now, Doris, like
No one else.
I would like to reassure you, that when he comes to Madrid, it's going to be a completely different landscape. Like, see, you were mentioning leverage, right? The only way PSG would have any leverage was to give him the power he got, was to give him the money he gets, and basically bow down to him. That was their only move. And to think that that would happen with us, man, it won't ever, not in our lifetime, not in any fucking dimension. That's gonna happen because we don't move like PSG. PSG is barely a football club, so I don't think that's gonna be the case. But you make some very valid points. You know, PSG, for them to have Mbappe, like what Jacob said, for them to make Mbappe stay and him be the poster boy of their their Qatar you know uh, World Cup bid and whatnot. It was a matter of prestige and pride for them. Once that was over, once the World Cup was over, I remember reading stuff like, this is basically Qatar's, end game. They got their wish, they got their World Cup at their country. So PSG are gonna, I mean, Nasser Khelafi and the Qatar royal family is gonna, slowly pull the plug on the PSG operation and whatnot, which seems like Mbappe moving on might be the first the first
Dominoes to fall.
first domino to fall, basically. Right. Hawkage Mo in the chat, he says, I think Mbappe clan sent a letter to have some proof of having given PSG notice. Back in 2021, PSG said Mbappe did not give him enough time. Mm. Yeah, could be. Could be. Emerson says one good thing about Mbappe joining Real Madrid is that Madrid are probably the only club in the world that can contain his ego rather than be dominated by it. Facts. Facts. Finally, Emerson has gelled in with the conversation. What happened? Doris, this is your power, bro. Not
Yep.
gonna lie, me and Jacob, we couldn't have done this. Doris, just being earnest and honest and grounded, kind of, I think, made Emerson a
He's
little more
the
self-aware.
Mourinho meme. Just respect, respect, respect.
Three, yeah,
Three. Three.
three Pete. In terms of Real Madrid, but Jacob, onto the next twist in the saga.
Oh, yeah, man. Like we were all like expecting it to be like drawn out, and we probably had to like wait until July 31st when he actually decided if he had to sign the extension or leave. But then things took a turn this morning when France Football magazine published their interview. So they were interviewing Mbappe for his winning the best French player for last season, and this was recorded on June 12th, and apparently they published it just now, where the timing is just not great. Just when the contract negotiations are going on, and he's not really in France, he's traveling around, and it was just bad timing. But there's a lot of juicy stuff that he said to the press, and you want to like get into the start of it.
100%, 100%. Before we get into it, Jacob, like I wanna ask both of you, yeah, like what really goes through Mbappe's mind when he states stuff so honestly, without any kind of a filter to the press? Is it the power that is being given by PSG, and or is it just that power basically makes him not give a fuck? I think it's the latter. I think it's the second bit.
Well, it's maybe that, and you should also think, hey, so let's say it was Ramos like saying it when he is at Real Madrid. He has a very loving atmosphere around him. He has a lot of friends. He's backed by the club, by the team, by everyone, by all the fans. But that's not really the case with Mbappe. Towards the end of last season, he was
100%,
criticized a
100%.
lot, and you can clearly see the frustration and the anger that this man has towards the club, its fans, and the people who are mistreating him, like come to the fore. So I feel like this was a very emotionally driven interview, and a lot of truths that he might not have revealed in other situations came out. And it's not just about his ego. It's like I think he was in a bad mental state when he actually gave this interview.
100%. People often forget. Yeah, there's pressure from the hierarchy, from the board, from NASA, from the fans. But people also quickly forget that in a dressing room, it's basically a band of brothers who are pulling towards the same direction. In the best case scenario, right? In teams like ours, in teams like let's say who's the next best example right now? Maybe Napoli, teams who are pulling in the same direction. But when it comes to Mbappe and his political power within PSG, he would have a lot more enemies than maybe fucking Osama bin Laden in his prime would have had, within PSG, because everybody would be out there to get this guy, man. And unfortunately, and like you said, his mental state would have taken a complete turn for the worse. But yeah, let's go through some of the comments, man. I mean, some of his comments
Oh.
to France Football. Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem with a lot of these tweets that Madrid Extra and these guys put out is like they didn't provide the context of how, like, what did he actually reply to? Like, nobody just goes out and says, like, hey, my club is like divisive. Like, they did not provide the context behind it. So I had to like go in and dig in through all of these French interviews and finally get some stuff out. So when you read it, his quotes just from the tweet, it seems like he's like burning all bridges. But then when you listen to like some of the questions, you get the context of what he's saying, and it's still a lot to take in. So let's go with the first quote. So he was asked, why hasn't this Qatari-owned team not achieved its desired results in the Champions League despite its multi-billion-dollar spending on transfers? And Mbappe says, well, we do what we can. We have to talk to those who make the team, those who organize the squad, those who build this club. Sometimes in football, you face what is called a glass ceiling. That is why it is not a question for me, but for those who are above it. So he just basically like shits on the management and how the club is run, maybe even his teammates, because he basically says, "Hey, it's like out of my hand right now. I've done the best I can, and it's up to my teammates and to the fucking club and those who run it to actually go out and win the Champions League." And I feel like I've almost hit a glass ceiling. That glass ceiling bit, like that's the most telling comment here.
Yeah, that's the Lannisters, sends their regards, twisting the knife bit, man. But boy, oh boy, when you actually deep it that he said that, I think there's no way back for him. I think just that one word, glass ceiling. This golden cage that PSG has built for him, and their football club. It's completely being burnt to the ashes, man. Doris, what's your take, man, when you hear someone like Mbappe club, call his club, basically state that his club has, a glass ceiling? What does that echo, really?
I think, I hate saying it speaks for itself, because if you know what happened in chess with the Niemann, the chess player, that phrase doesn't sound good. But still, for PSG and for Mbappe, I think it is a subject that everyone knew this entire time. We've been talking about how that team is not good enough for him. The entirety, of the time that he's been there, and especially last season with Neymar and Messi. Like, it was on his team. Mbappe did everything he could, and even in the game against us, or two games, he scored four goals. Two of them were offside. Like, that is an incredible player, and he is completely right when he says that he reached a glass ceiling, and he is completely right if he means that his team didn't do enough for him, which is really funny from someone that just extended with them and got so much freedom that everyone talked about. Which, if you think about it, what did he actually do with that freedom that we've been talking about? What did he actually do with it? I don't think
Nothing.
he did much. He didn't, influence any transfers really. He didn't, buy anyone. He didn't really get any freedom with that. And I would think that he could be angry about it, because, as I said, he would definitely be disappointed with his team, and he's probably disappointed with himself for believing in them. But still, he shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised, and still, it, it shouldn't be a surprise that he believed in them. That's it. And I think he gave his time for them. He gave enough time for them. He said, like, okay, I'll give 2 or 3 more seasons. They obviously paid him way too much for that, but still, he said, like, 2 or 3 more seasons. Let's win this. They didn't. They got pretty much embarrassed last 2 seasons in the Champions League, which is the only thing that matters for them. So it wouldn't be a surprise that he just wants to move on, And there's still no future there for PSG, for Mbappe. They know he's not gonna extend, and if he does, it's gonna cost them a billion more, to replace everything that they had, which was they still had a really good team that just didn't work out, you know. And still, if he leaves, we know it's good for him. He knows that it's good for him. The glass ceiling comment makes complete sense to me for Mbappe.
Perfect sense.
Should he be saying that, so publicly and all that? That's a different conversation, because we all know if Mbappe just did what he has to do with transfers, just fucking do them and just be over with them, it'll be fine, But given these comments, in the midst of all these transfers that he's had and the way he's acted in them, just shut up, man. Just shut up. and do whatever it like. Extend, don't extend. I don't care, but shut up. Don't blame anyone else. No one else. I
Well,
mean, that glass ceiling comment, it is completely true, but should not be coming from him. It should be coming from the manager that, he's sorry that that happened to him, or from Al Nasser, or from anyone else but him, or his, players, his teammates, but not from him. His mom, even.
I think his mom has had more powers than Mbappe. And when you mentioned that he might have been pissed off with not having, enough say, like he was promised, this all indicates to a very, broken marriage, man, where, the power dynamics, like it's basically like Mbappe thought he's wearing the pants. Now he's basically wearing shorts, barely shorts. So I think it's pretty funny how this whole saga has turned for Mbappe, man. But before we go into the next question or the next comment from Mbappe, Emerson was still clapping back. He says, still think he should join Arsenal and lose the ego. Well, I hope it works out for you, mate. Hopefully, you will find Mbappe in your ultimate team next year. Hassan says if Mbappe hoodwinks us again, we are so fucked for next season. Yeah, not gonna lie, it's Mbappe or bust. Fortunately for him, unfortunately for us. Moss says if Mbappe was to retire tomorrow, who do you think we can realistically get this season? Realistically, Vlahovic is a good shout, but I've said many a times I like what he does, but is he really Real Madrid material? I still have to see a lot more from Dusan Vlahovic to really think that he is that marquee number 9 for us. Still relatively unproven. Let's just call it that way. Any other suggestions from Doris or Jacob, Mbappe, or who is the alternative?
I feel like if it's not Mbappe, the club is not gonna have a number 9. It's just gonna be Rodrigo and maybe Arda
Mm.
Güler, Brahim on the wings. And
But in a hypothetical scenario, if we had the
if I had to
option,
choose one, like obviously Harry Kane, but he doesn't want to come. I don't think like maybe it's like someone from the Bundesliga. Like there's a lot of good strikers there at the moment, and just one of those guys.
I'm still recovering from Jovic, so you know. Um, what about you, Doris?
I was just about to say that for the Bundesliga players, but it's a difficult question because if we knew that, we would probably be going for that, and even publicly, I would say. But it is a question that we don't have the answer for, and it's been seasons that we don't have the answer for because it seems that no one is good enough for us, or or players are just too good to get them right now and stuff like that. Like it happened with Nkunku, it happened with a lot of players, So right now we need them. Last season we needed them, but still not that much. We had Karim here and all that, but it is really situational. And at this moment in time, the market, I don't know. Like it seems, at least for me, this season there's been a lot of transfers happen already, more than usual, I would say, or like a bigger
In the first
summer,
3 weeks,
at least.
yes, like so many
Yeah,
big transfers. Mm.
yeah. A lot of them happened already, so you need to scour the remains there, but it would still be someone like Joselo or something like that. Maybe better than him, but still. And Joselo is not bad. He's not a bad player, but he's not a starter. He's not Karim. There's no way he replaces Karim. But to get another transfer, it would have to be in Perez's eyes only if Mbappe is dead or something. Because it doesn't seem that he's going for anyone else. There have been some shouts for like uh, for Firmino or something like that, which yeah, I could see it, but still, it's not. It wouldn't be anyone that we would be really excited about having, and that is a big problem for Madrid, because being a striker in Madrid is a huge job, and it will have to be, a marquee signing, and all of them are pretty much gone at this moment, or not
Uh,
available at this moment.
and we have to also take into account how the landscape for strikers have completely changed, from the days we were growing up. It's a completely different picture for like traditional strikers. Now it's almost everybody who is an established striker, or an upcoming striker, I must say, has been a winger who has converted into a CF. I think that's what is happening with many of the up and coming center forwards. So I just like, even for me, I can't really pinpoint someone that is, oh, there you go, he is Real Madrid material. Osimhen is a very good shout. He's
Very good.
yeah, he is superbly talented. Has the perfect ingredients, to be a top striker. Has the strength, has the technique, has the speed. He's a scary proposition to come up against, but to get him out of Napoli to deal with De Laurentiis it's gonna take you more than 100 million, easy. So when Mbappe is an option, in the current situation, like, we are never gonna move for someone like Osimhen, no chance. A few more comments before we move
I'm
on to the
sorry,
next. Yeah.
Sanad, I think Osimhen was talking about Madrid being his next, destination. So I don't think it's completely impossible. But like we all know, it's all dependent on Mbappe, and if he's even gonna be here at that time. Because if he's not, I could see us going for him 100%.
See,
Maybe not
it,
right now. Napoli is not selling him right now. There's no chance. But
maybe
after that, I don't see why not. I don't see any argument for why we couldn't get Osimhen.
I know. I'm kind of playing a bit of FIFA career mode over here, but we are Real Madrid. Like, we are not also runs in the transfer market. Our pull, our knock is definitely different. And if things doesn't exactly, he's my guy. Rodrigo is my love child. Yeah, but if things don't exactly go to plan for him, Mbappe, Osimhen, and Vinicius can play in the same team. Yeah, this might sound nonsensical to people, but for me, it has happened before. It is something that is definitely on the cards.
How would
If
you line that up?
mm,
How would you
Oh, Mbappe
line
on the right.
it'll
those
be
two up?
it'll Mbappe on the right can be an option, but he is not exactly prolific there. But I think that's the best case scenario. Vinicius should stick to the left
Santa
wing.
Claus is not real tonight. Santa Claus is not real. There's no chance that happens. And I'm sorry if someone is under 10 years old.
You ruined Christmas for them.
Yeah, so it's summer, so it's about time to find out.
But Doris, you never know. You never know. You never know. I'm just telling you, this is a possibility. Like, we can convince Mbappe to play right wing if he's within our club. Like, I'm telling you, it can happen under the right manager, under the right system. Those three can interchange and flourish. That I don't think that is an unrealistic expectation. I don't think so. But for them
I
to buy
think
into a project coming
right
in as a
now
right
we're
winger,
moving him from left wing where he wants to play to a nine. There's no
yeah.
way we change him even more, to that side. I don't
It
think
it
that's
oh,
gonna
sometimes
work.
in life,
And
Doris, it only takes a push.
Yep. I mean, for
I
France,
mean, if
he
that
has he.
happens, bro, you will be a prophet. Like I will do this, but still, I'm.
Haven't I already been a prophet, Doris?
Prophet
That is,
Sunay.
From
that's a take. That's a take. I will say it's a take. What can we? Okay, but I will remember this in a few years. Like
Okay.
the Walking Dead. Like Doris will remember this.
I've won in life, I've won in life finally. Doris is going to remember something that I, prophesized. But
Not a
right.
chance.
let me get into a few more comments. Farooq was saying, um, no. I missed a few more.
You miss Hassan's comment.
Yeah, he doesn't care anymore. Hassan says he doesn't care anymore. Him being pressured to stay at PSG by the Emir of Qatar and other people burned the bridge. He just wants to get out of there now, doesn't care how he does it. Yeah, it screams desperation, but it also screams he might be looking to cash in, stay in, at PSG and cash in. I don't know, man. It's all crazy because it's very difficult to really predict what his mentality is at this moment in time. Because if it was any other guy, like what Mo says, Mo is the absolute, Mbappe behavioral specialist. He has his algorithms, upon his blackboard over at his house in Detroit. But yeah, man, even he tells us that it's hard to decode. Farouk says of all he said and done, you can't fault the glass ceiling comment. 100%. Don't forget this, guys. We are playing Vitinha, Zaire Emery, Sola, etc. in the Champions League knockouts. Even Mr. UCL champions, even Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo would hit a glass ceiling. So, what does he mean by that? It's Farouk. I don't want to break it down before I kind of, completely understand it. What does he mean?
No, he just
Jacob,
mean
do you have an idea?
yeah, he just means that there's a certain ceiling to this team, and if you're actually playing these guys in the UCL knockout, like you basically have no chance of making it out. Like even a player like CR7 or even Prime Messi would have difficulty, and it's no surprise that Mbappe has a difficulty, and he's like being transparent about it.
Fair. So yeah, when the team doesn't have a solid foundation, no matter who is playing in it, yeah, no, I get it. Thank you, Jacob. Farouk, sometimes the status quo of an assistant PhD professor, sometimes it gets to me. I get intimidated, bro. Apologies for that. Deron is in the chat. Nice to see you again, man. He says that happens when you give a player all the power in a club. That should never happen, man. That should never have happened. Hassan says, get me Vlahovic. He's the real deal. I wouldn't expect any forward to put up numbers playing under Allegri. Haram ball. I've seen enough of Allegri over the years, and the way his teams have taken a complete turn, in the second spell, it's insane. It's insane. It's horrid to watch. I'm telling you, it's not even football. It's not even haram ball. You could say, how do you put it? You could say Conte is haram ball, but Allegri, man, it's not even haram, man. We have to look for a different adjective for that. Emerson says, what's the latest on Harry Kane to RM? It has completely died down. We had a huge special planned with the big boss, expressions and, tap and tobes. It was supposed to take place, first week of July, but since the Kane rumors have completely died down, it doesn't it just never took off. Unfortunately, Kane is out of the picture, man. I was really hoping that Kane would be linked a bit more. So that we can really play with Danny Levy, because that man has given me some nightmares a decade ago regarding Bale. So I would have loved for us to dangle the carrot in front of him, for a bit, but it never happened. Yeah, Mo says Madrid won't spend 100 billion on Kane. Yeah, it's just plain as daylight to see. Right, let's just get into the next Mbappe bombshell, shall we say, Jacob?
Yeah, man. So right now, what has he done? He's alienated his club. He says that. Wait, can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sure.
Go on.
Yeah. So he's just basically said like this squad is not good enough, but he's not really insulted the squad or the club, really. So in the next question, he gets asked, being in PSG has not helped you win the golden ball, right? And what do you think about that? So Mbappe says, I think that playing at PSG does not help much because it is a divided team, a divided club. So, of course, it attracts gossip, but it doesn't bother me because I know what I'm doing. I mean,
And how to do it, right?
exactly. And the main takeaway is that, okay, so he first shits on his squad. He's saying these guys are not good enough to like win the Champions League. But now he insults their character, saying, hey, these guys are all divided. These guys ain't my friends. Like, so it's going to be very hard for me to win the golden bond.
So this is a much more scathing comment than the glass ceiling one. where the glass ceiling is all about ambition. Now this is character assassination, right?
Exactly. It get worse.
I don't know how you can track back from this. Like, even in life, if you say this to a friend, you're done, right? Like when you're making such a comment, with with your on your interview with France Football, supposedly, the greatest or the biggest publication, one of the biggest, among the biggest in France. I don't know how he's coming back from this, man. Um, Doris, what do you think?
I mean, this entire episode, I mean, saying stuff like that publicly, it says a lot about his character and how much it's me, and not us, not his club. It's, I mean, there is no lies there that they are divided and all that, but all these like
But
press.
but let me quickly contest that, Doris. Right?
Mm,
Um, when you said that it's me, yeah. Mbappe was never a PSG legend, although now in some right he is, yeah. But he wasn't a PSG academy player. He, like, obviously, Paris was a city he wanted to excel and whatnot. Um, but don't you think that is kind of um, bought out by the fact that he was bought on for 180 million? He's on so many wages. He was basically begged to stay by giving him more money and whatnot. That kind of disrespect, it comes from just so much money.
exactly. That was what I was gonna say. Like, it is me. There is no question about it, and it is sad, the time we live in, the way players act about their clubs and basically just money. There is very little respect and actual passion left, from players for their clubs. It will be a long time since we see another Totti or something like that, and Mbappe is not Totti. That is 100%.
No chance. No way. No way.
So there is no point in acting like he is, from France's perspective here. So like I said, it is something from him, to talk about it so publicly, and everything that he's saying is, the complete truth. And with everything, concluded here, Mbappe doesn't want to be there. He embarrassed PSG. Al Nasser embarrassed himself. The image of PSG in the world of football is basically destroyed from Mbappe. No one else, not even Neymar, when he went there. It's just Mbappe and everything that happened with the Emir and everyone else there. When you think about the club, PSG is, it's just, it will never have, the same taste in your mouth. And not to say, that before Mbappe, people were, drooling over
Hmm.
PSG, but it was still, it was a team in Paris. It's a big deal. But right now, Mbappe, I would say, ruined the image of PSG. It's not just Al Nasser, it's also Mbappe, and he ruins the image of his clubs, not Monaco and all that, but PSG. Imagine him talking about this in Madrid. Just imagine.
He
For
won.
for example, Vinicius to talk
Hmm.
about this. Can you
Yeah.
can you even imagine that? I cannot even imagine Vinicius sitting anywhere and talking like that about his club. The respect there isn't there from from Kylian to the owners, and the other way around. I would say, they are treating him like a god that is also a child, but also your maid and also like your manager and everything. There's just everything that we're talking about it. It's the truth. Mbappe is speaking the truth. Even Al Nasser, I would say right now is speaking the truth. He's saying, that he's surprised, and with his IQ, I would say, that is probably the truth. I'm sorry for being that mean, but giving a player that small of a contract in length is just, you have to be really dumb for for that, and doing that when you know that he doesn't have his full heart there, it is, its own topic. But for Killian and his comments in general, I think he's speaking the truth there. But I would never want that to happen in my club, and I hope that it doesn't when he comes here. But you can never say that he won't. That is, you cannot, guarantee that he won't act like that.
See, Doris. So you're completely doubting Kylian Mbappe's personality, yeah? Like
One
you are
hundred
very.
percent. 100%.
See,
That dude
this
is
is what.
sketchy. He's sketchy,
Hmm.
man. He's sketchy. Like everything about him is sketchy. Like we are talking about, like we need to separate football and what he is as a player. Like look at Ronaldo. He's a piece of shit in real life. He's an amazing player, but in real life he's, oh my god, like the things that he's done. But when I talk about Ronaldo, I'm talking about a player. He was an amazing player. But if we're gonna talk about Mbappe before he is our player, we can talk about his stats, which we know are amazing in Paris, and everything else. He's just been an asshole to everyone, to his club, to his teammates, to other clubs, to everyone around him. Name one good thing that he's done for anyone. One, just one. Nothing.
I mean,
Man.
he. I mean, just to defend like Mbappe, like just to put a positive spin on it, like the only good thing he has done is like he's preserved his image rights. So he only like advertises the things that he believes in. He doesn't like go with betting companies and whatnot. So he does have some self-respect on how his name is used. But yeah, his way of
Okay,
like
that
his way of like treating the club, I totally agree with you, Doris. Like,
I'm talking about the players and the way he acts in his club. And I mean, it's not that extreme, when we talk about it, you only speak about the black and white things. It's not like he's a piece of shit, or anything like that.
yeah.
But still, you need to look at it. And we've had players that were, you know, assholes, I would say, and that's not, abnormal. People are, he's a human. Humans have their feelings, their personalities. I'm just not a fan of his personality, and he hasn't done anything that would, make me think that he isn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, Madrid TV and Rajat is basically disagreeing with the Mbappe slander. I guess that's what they're saying,
No, I'm
because
not.
they
It sounds extreme when you talk about it, but I don't think it's a
she's
lie.
just being passionate about what she believes in, which is
I don't
up to
think it's
her.
a lie. Honestly, I don't. And I think like those people are humans. Humans can be assholes. That's it. There is
It's
there's
well
nothing
known
about
facts.
it.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah.
about it.
It's not out of the realms of possibility, but see, when we heard about all this breaking off in the first place, we always knew his public persona is going to take a turn for the worse, is going to be is going to be put into so much scrutiny that every statement that he makes, every move that he makes in life is going to be questioned, is going to be magnified. Why would you willingly bring that upon yourself? I don't know why would anyone do that to themselves. Like, having a low profile is the best way to navigate, especially uh, you know um, uh, the business that is football right now in 2023. The best way is to um, ease your way into things. Be a little more diplomatic, say a bit more PR oriented, PR tailored stuff that would not get you as much heat. I don't know, maybe the power that he has eventually gets to your head, man. But how many more comments do we have, Jacob? Because Mo, I think, must have sent you
Yeah.
the latest from Fabrizio's, Kylian Mbappe briefing. Um, how many more comments
Are you
from the
guys
France?
friends more? Are they friends or something?
Yeah,
I
Mo
have
has
no
his
idea at this
contacts, man.
point.
His contacts, man.
Yeah, that guy is, on a different, planet to all of us, in terms of, football journalism and whatnot. He gets to stuff faster than light. I just can't process it sometimes, but it is what it is. I don't feel jealous anymore. I used to, but now I'm like, better to rely on him, to get shit, faster. But Jacob, man, guide us through, bro. How many more comments do we have from his
Um,
interview?
there's a couple, just a couple more, but then the one that I want to highlight is his comments on the French
Yeah.
league when he got asked about it. The other comment is basically him getting asked about like what kind of pressure he is in, because people expect him to like perform at an elite level, and when he's like not able to do that, sometimes people just trivialize his whole contribution. So he was just getting angsty about it. But then like kind of the most telling comment here is like, once he finishes shitting on PSG, now he decides to do it to the French league. And this is, I mean, it's crazy, right? He's talking to the France football press, and this is what he gets asked. He gets asked. So there are rumors flying around that you're not gonna. This is gonna be your last season in League One. Like, do you have any reasons that you have to move to a different league? So he answers, it's very simple. I'm a competitor. When I play, it's to win. It doesn't matter who I play with, what shirt I wear, or where I play. I never settle. I just want to win, win, win the UCL. I'll never be satisfied.
There you go. So, yeah. So I want to ask the chat, yeah. What did Doris say that was out of line? I don't understand. I'm looking for a valid reason
Come on,
to.
come on. I want to hear a really good argument why you think Mbappe is a good person. Like in general, or any player that you don't know. We don't know any of them as humans or what they do. For all I know, Fede could be, an asshole. And I love Valverde. But why does it matter? If we're gonna talk about Valverde, for example, and we're gonna talk about a transfer in any other, part of the season, it wouldn't matter if is an asshole, right? But when it's a transfer, it's millions of euros, it's so many things happening. It matters what kind of person that person is, and they're just players. Then they're not like the smartest people around, and they have a whole entourage that wants to get a percentage of him. They work on percentages, and Mbappe knows that. And as long as it is me, 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 that's the way I'm gonna look at it. And I'm not saying that it's a bad way to look at your career, but that's what it is right now. It's just a career to these players, Like to me, if I had, 100 million in the bank, it wouldn't matter to me if I got another 90 or 120. But it obviously matters for these people, and I don't think highly of those kinds of people.
But then the other argument is that, all these footballers, they come from, poor backgrounds. They have a finite career where they know it won't last forever. It's just one injury away from, completely being derailed and whatnot. So
Okay, something that is related to our club. We talked about it in the group chat about what happening with Luka in Croatia. All of that happened when he was a young kid, that was
mm,
leaving Dinamo Zagreb,
Dynamo, yeah.
and there were
Mm,
yeah, and there was someone like Al Nasser, that wanted to get a percentage for life, for him for everything that he does. But if you don't, say about the taxes and stuff like that, we can, we will get more money, and I will get you like a really good deal. Like people do stuff, behind the scenes. And if you look at it, Luca isn't a great person for doing that. But if I look at it from his side and
yeah.
knowing like my city, we live in the same city, like if I know like his background and literally the field that he's playing is like 2 minutes from my house, if I see it, Bagat and all that, like I understand why he's doing it. But that didn't happen after he had 100 million or 200 million. He did that to get something, to get that big move and, be someone, in the in the world of football, and he moved to Tottenham. Like that isn't Madrid. That isn't Madrid, and we know that, So like it is different when Luca does it, and he did it for a criminal. That is 100% true. He did it for a criminal, but he did it, to get that move because there was no other way. This is just a player playing with this. This isn't like no like crime lord asking him, to get a few more millions or anything like that. He talked about last season, the season before that, probably like the season before that too, about how he's interested in the project. Instead, like then just talk about it. Talk about other teams, not with us, not publicly, but talk about with your entourage about the projects you want to be part of. Arsenal, like there was someone in the chat, Emerson, I think, talking about Arsenal. Talk about them. Maybe that's good for you. But if you're going to talk about your own team, how they are dragging you down, I don't see how that's on anyone else but you. Like he had those players in his team when he extended. They got a couple more like Messi and stuff like that, but he had most of those players already in the team. Like if he didn't believe in Marquinhos, Kimpembe, or whoever, Verratti, I mean, but he did, but he did. And if we're
And
gonna talk publicly about it, how am I supposed to respect someone like that? If I had a friend and I talk about to everyone else how he or she is, bad at something, a shit friend or whatever, I'm a shit friend to that. I mean, Ronaldo went to Piers Morgan to talk about it. I don't see how this is any different than that. Maybe it is scaled down by a lot, but he's still talking about his team as if he's not gonna be there next season, and as if those players are not gonna be there the next season, as if he is the one who makes that.
imagine, imagine, you do all that and then you have to walk back into training in a couple of months and see all these players. I don't
That's what I'm
understand.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And the ego, to do that, you need to be someone to be, completely ready to go the next season and look all those people in the eyes, all of them.
It's immaturity. It is just very shrewd thinking. Selfish thinking. I don't know. Maybe it's just PR to get his move out of Paris, man. At this point, Mbappe is a specimen that just defies any sort of, like what you just briefed out for us, Doris, any sort of human quotient, you know, some sort of relatability where we would think, oh, you know what, Mbappe, if I was in his place, I would have done the same thing. But nah, apart from the taking the money bit last year, the comments, the PR stunts, nah, it doesn't sit right with me either. And rightfully so, like it was reported, Jacob, right? Like so many guys actually sent in letters to the president and to the club,
I
yeah,
mean,
complaining that, oh,
yeah, it was probably like a WhatsApp message. It wasn't like a formal letter, but yeah, apparently six players complained, and among which two of them were like fresh signings. So
I'm
they,
pretty sure, we were joking about Asensio, right? He'll be
yeah,
like, I'm also fucking strongly against that shit, guys, mentality. He should be booted out. So probably Asensio is always also in the, in with the, whole, play thing. But
yep. But the reaction to
yeah,
the
man.
interview wasn't good at all. I mean, RMC Sport reported that Nasser Al Khelafi basically said, if this is what he thinks, why doesn't he just leave now? That was his like quote for quote. That was his comment, and right now, like that was basically the reaction. And then post that reaction, people have like dropped their takes on it. Fabrizio Romano has dropped a video on Kylian Mbappe. Should we go through it right now?
Just before we go through it, let's go through a few of the comments because we have a few of the interesting ones. Guys, this is a special that was done impromptu. Like we didn't even really plan this out. So if you're loving what we're doing, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, again, man, much love to all the people that have showed us love over the 2 years on the road to 1K, 20 odd away from it. Make it happen, people. um Right. Daron was saying if we spend 150 million to buy him this season, I think the shirt sales for Mbappe will pay for half of his transfer. I think more than half, man. Come on, more than half. Let's be honest. Rajat says no, because half of it, more than half of the money is going to Adidas, not to Real Madrid. I don't know how much truth there is to it. I'm pretty sure Adidas gets significant percent of the transfer business. I mean the shirt sales, but I think it's like somewhere around 60-40, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. Um, Mo was saying I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, come on, man. I just can't stand you sometimes, but yeah, you're a great source. Let's just say, Mark O'Grady says Doris is correct. So there you go, man. Doris finally getting some validation. Rajat says how will yeah, yeah, absolutely. Rajat says, how will Mbappe fit in this team with Vinny? Obviously, there's no way that both play left wing. Like we said, CF is where we think he might, fit into the side. Rajat was also saying, and Doris is right. Yeah. Emerson says, do you think with all of Madrid's young players, Bellingham, etc., having Mbappe could set a bad example and stunt their development? That is just hyperbole. I'm telling you, there'll be a flick in his switch regarding mentality, regarding aspirations, regarding the way he conducts himself. I'm telling you, that shit is never going to fly in Madrid, man. It's never going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. Nightbot and Hassan, yeah, Nightbot is winning 11-0 at this point. Um, unfortunately for Hassan. Mo Chelsea. So this guy is a curious case. Mo, so you're a Chelsea fan, yeah? Sometimes you turn up with your username as Mo, and then I think you want to fuss. And then I see Mo Chelsea. I don't know if it's like two different people, but I may be mistaken. I'm not sure. Mo Chelsea says, I pray Real Madrid get Arsenal in the Champions League with Kai Havertz in midfield. I was reading up on some of that shit, Kai Havertz, who is basically who's basically someone, if you look at his physique, it's almost like he's anorexic. He, like, if you blow wind beside him, he's basically getting knocked over. Him being an 8 in an Arsenal midfield, man, it's a recipe for disaster. Emerson is quick to defend, Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard, mate. I don't know, bro. Good luck to you all, anyway. Hassan says, as more Chelsea from here, they might need a humbling. They are getting annoying with the Chouameni Fede talk. Yeah, the Chouameni links as well. I was seeing a couple of, titles of the AFTV videos, man. Chouameni, really, really, how realistic is that? Um, right. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, man, Fabrizio actually broke something regarding Mbappe. Jacob, shall we get into it?
Let's get right into it. So yeah, he basically summarizes that yes, all of the reports surrounding his interviews, the comments by the players, comments by El Khalafi, they're all true. And the fact is that July has to be the month that Mbappe decides. We've known all of this, and it's all reputable sources. Fabrizio has just done a here we go and confirmed all of this. But he does add a couple of new points. He says that people close to PSG believe that Mbappe has an agreement with Real Madrid to join for free in 2024. And that feeling is very strong, which is why they have said to Kylian, like, basically, you extend with us or you get out of the club. We don't want to lose you on a free. So they did suspect that there's stuff going on between Papa Fiorentino and Mbappe for a long time right now. And they just want to nip it in the bud and not give it time to grow, because they're very, very afraid that Mbappe will leave for free.
So what they fear is basically what is public knowledge, that like, if he's staying, he's definitely leaving next year. But like, did Fabrizio say anything regarding the chances or likelihood of this year being an actual possibility?
He just says that July has to be the month that we'll know about it, and that Madrid are like watching the situation closely, and like if things do take a turn, they're gonna change plan and gonna sign him. But the initial plan was to actually get him on free for 2024.
Mm. Yeah, so it's basically more of the same. Yeah, nothing exactly groundbreaking. Fabrizio, bro, I'm disappointed, man. But
I mean, he
yeah.
he's reputable, right? Like, and his agenda is that I'm only gonna give you like the confirmed news, so he's not gonna like break any thing, any rumors. This is what we can expect. But I do have like a take from Mo as well. So Mo's take is that Fiorentina and Mbappe have been texting all this while, and and we've been kept in the dark.
Could be the thing, they might have private DMs happening, here and there. Maybe probably sending memes about Nasser himself. Um, yeah, I think it's not nothing out of the realms of possibility. Yeah, but I truly believe that like we said in the last episode, for PSG as an institution to mend some of the animosity with us as a club, they might look to cash in 200 million and fixing some of the political relationships between the two clubs. I think it's a win-win for PSG, man. Absolutely, because the player doesn't want to be there. He wants to move to us and whatnot. So, and they have publicly stated that losing him for a free is a fucking catastrophe. So it all points towards this season. And again, let me stress this again. I don't know why this is not public knowledge. I think everybody knows it, but it's just because it's out of our it's basically out of our hands. We can't really say much about it. But without Mbappe, Doris, and Jacob, does our season really stand a chance?
No, it's the last season for me. Like, if nobody comes.
Before a ball is being kicked, we are finito.
Yeah.
Doris, talk to me.
You say it's over for you or for the team, Jacob?
No,
One way to look at it.
I'll still be around. I'll still come for the podcast, but like I'll be unhappy totally.
Oh, that's
I,
something
I
else.
won't have any expectations, is
Yeah.
also what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Mbappe doesn't come, and we are probably expecting that we won't get anyone else if he doesn't come, which will be sad. It will be really sad if it doesn't happen. But I don't think it's above the realm of possibility to have an all right season. And an all right season is us not winning anything, but still competing, which should not be something that we hope for, but it's something that will probably happen because I doubt that we will win the league with Joselu. Like that is many games that he needs to be on top in our attack, and play well with Vinicius and Rodrigo, Brahim, whoever plays, next season. But apart from that, I would expect Perez, if we're not gonna get anyone, to get at least someone else there, because Benzema playing without substitutes is not the same, as Jose doing it, like at all. And we can talk about Rodrigo playing as striker, and we shouldn't even be talking about it. But if it happens, it will be the same as it was, this season, which wasn't amazing, but it won us games, in the end. But in the UCL, that will definitely not be enough. So it's either Mbappe or we just move on from it already. But we need to know, and the entire thing you were talking about Florentino and Mbappe and how he's gonna stay, and not extend and all that. I don't think that's even impossible or impossible. Sorry, that uh, that he does that because from the way he left or left, he didn't come and all that. It would be something in the realm of possibility that he could have a deal with Perez, to do that, to come on the free. And when that happened, we talked about it. We talked about it many times that while it was happening, that and before he signed the extension, that he could, if he extends, that he probably will have a deal to come on the free then, you know, because he did that, I guess. So it is completely possible. But either way, I'm 99% sure that he's coming. You know, like it or not, he will probably come. But then it will just be one season at best, that we have to deal with it. So I don't think it's a huge deal, and I think we could be overreacting a little bit because we didn't have any expectations last season. The season before, definitely we didn't have any expectations, and we won. I think proved us wrong.
Didn't have any expectation is a wrong way to put it. I don't think
I
there's
I
any
was
season.
yeah, like especially last season I was like fully expecting to like go on another deep Champions League run, maybe even win.
Oh no, I didn't mean no expectations that we don't expect our team to go for the league, to go for the Champions League every season is that. I'm just talking about realistically what we were talking about, and don't lie, what we were talking about, the season before last one. We don't believe in any of those games, so don't lie. We did not believe, and we did not have
See,
expectations that we were gonna
see
win.
right, right.
Hope and faith should not, those are not the same things, and it's
When we are
completely okay to say that.
when we are previewing a quarterfinal or semi-final, obviously we are more realistic about our chances of going through to the next round. Yeah, but when the season is beginning, we definitely want to win every fucking title in sight.
I didn't say that
Simple
we're not.
as.
I didn't say that we're not. I
No,
said every season is something
Yeah.
like that, but you don't say that for every season that you have the same percentage or like of expectations and stuff. I'm saying like the last two seasons we did not expect stuff, and for last season we were saying it's over. Karim cannot do it. Vinicius will be all over or all by himself. Modric is so old. Like we were saying all those things. So I don't see what we're trying to do right now. And even for last season, we will have even less expectations. That's just the way it is. And hoping for a win, and wanting your team to win, and
win is
expecting
completely
like
different. Mm.
yeah, it's just a matter of faith, and that's it. Do I believe that we're gonna do it? Is it's just expectations and possibilities and all that. We need to take into account that Barcelona just had an incredible season league wise, not everything else, but they had a really good season. We will have a huge competitor there. We don't know how Atletico is gonna play. Sevilla just won an Europa League, coming from relegation for like a huge chunk of the season and finishing in like 11th or something. I'm not sure, but it's still, they will still be there in the Champions League next season. We have Sociedad that they lost Isaac. They will probably lose Zubimendi probably, but there are
Hmm.
like a couple of players that they might lose that will make them weaker. But still, we still have a lot to compete for in the league. We still have like the Champions League will be probably the hardest one we will have to go through next season.
City is
Uh,
never going anywhere. We'll have to
yeah,
go through them to stand a chance.
and we have kind of a different combination of teams this season in the Champions League, especially because of uh, Premier League teams. Chelsea won't
Mm.
be there, Liverpool
Yeah.
won't be there. We have Arsenal now, we have Newcastle now, Man United. There was like some Union Berlin will probably be there. I'm not sure if they finished in the top four. I hope they did. But like there are like some couple, different teams there, and we will see. Expectations, faith, belief, could all talk about that. But we downgraded, our attack, and we need to be, 100% honest about that. No Asensio, no Karim, it will hurt, and expectations from me are not high. Do I want them to
But
win
but, but
everything?
for
Of
me,
course.
you see, like I completely am on board with having realistic expectations. Obviously, before I go to bed, I would have a deep couple of minutes thinking about this. Obviously before the season starts. Yeah, but for me, us as a club, we can't make excuses. Yeah, we can be realistic about our chances of achieving top honors, but formations can be tweaked. We have, I think, the best plethora of midfield talent and the entire fucking universe, right? We could play a 4-4-1. We could improvise a different version of a 4-4-2. You know, we could move back to a double pivot again. You know, play someone
Is
like
that
Jude Bellingham
without
behind the striker.
Mbappe? We're still talking about without Mbappe, right?
Yeah, without Mbappe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So
things can be done to negate, the effect of missing out on a top striker. I'm just saying. Just saying.
it's like there's very little chance that we play, with the back three, which it's still
Not a back
first.
three, still a back four. Still a back four.
Yeah, okay, like whatever there is, but still we would play, I guess, Vinicius, Joselu, and Rodrigo up front, which is no difference than playing Benzema there, but it's not Benzema, not even close to that. In the midfield, we will have an abundance of midfielders that we still don't know how they're gonna play together, but we're still hoping for the best, and
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
expectations
This
there are very high,
this
for
season,
the
Chouameni will have a much more definitive role.
I
Kamavinga is going to
agree.
have
I
a much
agree.
more definitive role. So I
I agree.
think our midfield is going to look a lot more better than last year. And I think for once, Kroos and Modric will be on the outside picture and only looking to come in when and where needed. But we leave all that for before the season starts. The big preview. We'll be talking about how we think our team would be setting up. A few comments before we go through some of the lesser transfers. I think Mbappe is pretty much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I just wanted to comment on it. Like, we are like very optimistic, right? Here's where I see the holes in the story. So initially, if he had come last summer, Mbappe was looking at 150 million, like just given to him because he was gonna come
Yeah.
on a free transfer. He's gonna lose that.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
lose his loyalty bonus if he comes, and he's gonna take a kind of a big paycheck cut because right now I guess he earns around 72 mil per year. If it's Madrid, he's gonna get close to 50, and he's gonna lose a ton of money, man. And I'm not sure if he has planned for
I
this.
think he's losing 300 million, right? Around.
That's a lot of
If
money.
he is coming this year. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I feel like this might not happen, guys, because Mbappe, like, that's a lot of money to leave on the table, even though you're like fed up with the club and whatnot.
100%. And looking by the way things panned out, like the only reason that convinced him to stay was basically this money.
Yep.
So why would he really? I don't understand. But like what Doris said, if he thinks like Doris, if he thinks like us, normal, everyday men, giving up that much money for one additional year with us, one more successful year to your legacy, is going to do him a lot of good once he hangs up his boots. Like he'll have one more extra year of folklore to tell his sons. I'm just hoping that he thinks that way, but we all know what's going to happen.
That's why we
It's
gotta
just
wait till the end of July, man. It's gonna be like a tense couple of weeks.
so you fancy we'll be forced to do a special again, yeah, before the end of this month, yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like, if Mbappe doesn't come, we're still gonna do a special. Like, we have to like cover like who is our backup number 9. Like, we got nobody now.
Yeah, 100%. A few other comments, especially this one from Madrid TV. I've seen rumors about Valverde linked with Liverpool. What do you guys think? For me, he is untouchable and starter for Madrid. I don't know, man. Mo used to say that he might be a target. He might be moved on, but for me, he's untouchable.
Isn't he like the only guy who can like get us 100 million in our midfield? If he's
Or
celebrating.
Chouameni.
Chouameni, Kamavinga, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah,
definitely,
but
like,
Kamavinga is
if we-
never
if-
getting.
like, let's take the scenario, guys. Like, let's say we don't have the money to like finance Mbappe's move because of the loyalty bonus. Like, what if Mbappe's camp says, "Hey, like, you have to pay this to us"? And I can realistically see like Valverde being moved on if it comes to that.
I'll be so fucking
Yep.
embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie. To sacrifice one gem for another. And Doris would argue Mbappe is not even a gem, right, Doris?
I disagree with that, but still, Valverde, I don't know. I said it for Asensio too. Like I didn't want him to leave, but you do you, man. For Valverde, I would. I don't know. I would beat the fuck out of him if I saw him on the parking lot, of any other team like he did. But for Valverde leaving, one of our favorites on the podcast and one of our favorites in the club, I don't see anyone, being happy about that or wanted that. Basically, blood money. Those 100 million would be blood on it. I swear. And Valverde has said like multiple times, they will have to kill him, for him to leave. And after all the talks about his captaincy and how everyone wants him here, he assisted a goal in the final. He's Valverde, and the way he acts with everyone, he listens. He has so much respect for the club and passion for this club, which you don't see, a lot.
Also a leader, proper leader.
Yeah, he's a leader, and I don't see why anyone would even want him to leave. But you know, if we're talking about selling our players, there's all of our players seem untouchable, and a lot of it has to do because we have some players on the bench now, or kind of on the bench that we actually like, which is a surprise. But still, it makes us really hesitant to sell them. And like I said, like with the abundance of midfielders right now, I don't know why we would be getting more of them, if we already have them. Spending more money, more than we would sell him for. You know, the amount that we spent on our midfield. I don't see there being any logical reason for us to sell him unless we needed money, which we really don't. At this moment in time, we saved some money. At least we're talking about it like we did, and the media is talking about it. But for Valverde or Camavinga or Trump, many I don't see there being any very valid argument for us to be even in the need to sell them, especially Valverde.
100%. All these links just makes me think. Why would you really put it out there? But like
But
Mo said,
why would we
like
need to sell? Why would we need to sell?
like what Jacob said, the loyalty bonus that Mbappe's camp might ask would force our hand, because
That
if you
that
look
would
at
be
our
selling our
bench,
soul for him, literally.
yeah, that's the thing. The club would be very aware of that. We have done that in the past. Let's not forget Ozil. I was
Yeah.
devastated, right? I loved Bale. Like it was almost like I got my wish, but it basically took my soul away. So yeah, man, I've seen our club do that. So it's not really out of the equation yet. I'll just say that. But a few of the comments here. Son says, Valverde, big up yourself, son. Valverde is a rare talent, perfect balance. Rajat says, how do Arda Güler fight to earn a spot? So much competition. Watch out for our Arda Güler special tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. Around the same time this live, happened. So we'll be breaking it down in much, much more detail for you guys. Right. Matter TV says it's just clickbait. Right. Raja says, do we need Kula to play wing? We have many attacking options for the wing. He is very, very good, somewhere around the right wing or the half spaces between the right wing and the central striker. That's what I've seen from his heat maps and whatnot. He is looking really, really good and would add massively, to our right wing problems. I feel like, I think the club made a very intelligent decision. We'll, break it down in much more detail tomorrow. But a couple more small details before we kind of, wrap this up. Sergio Arribas being linked with Almeria. Any thoughts on that? People have been going up and up raw, questioning, why are we looking to loan our players to, sides like Girona, Almeria, and the likes? Like, is it going to really facilitate his development? Some people are keen on Arribas. I am personally a fan, but some people don't think that he's really cut out for us. What do you guys think?
I mean, he's no Bellingham, right? Like, if you loan a player out like Bellingham, it does not make sense not to play him. Like, you have to
Mm.
have him as a starter for every single game, even if it's for a club like Man United. Let's say we loan Bellingham to them, but then if he loans someone like Arribas to Man United, he's just gonna ride the bench, guys. Like, there's no upside to like playing him. You're not gonna win matches just
Not
because of
United, not United, Jacob. Like somewhere upper mid-table Bundesliga, upper mid-table Serie A,
maybe. But
Atlanta,
do you still like?
Atlanta, somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I could like see him thrive in Atlanta, but it's not going to be an assured starting position. He's still going to have to earn that, and I'm not sure if he's there yet because he hasn't made the jump to like first team football yet. So maybe Almeria is like a first starting point. Once he gets the hang of La Liga, maybe he can like his next move could be towards top half of the table club. Yeah.
Antonio Blanco is also in a similar situation. Like these guys, I had such high hopes for. Like it's sad to see. Their careers are at a crossroad that we didn't expect them to go through. Um, yeah, man, Arribas. I really hope that this works out for him. If it happens, I don't know how reliable it is. Jose Felix Diaz actually broke it, but let's just see, man. Because I really want guys like Arribas, guys like Nico Paz, them to have a chance, a shot at the first team. I know it might seem nonsensical at this point, but I would really, love to see their hard work, their loyalty, their determination to stay with Castilla and prove themselves, be paid back in some shape or form. Um, Anything else, Jacob, regarding us? I know we plan to actually discuss some of the other transfers. Should we just run through them quickly
Yeah, man, sure.
for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's do that. So the major transfers, like the top three for this season so far, is like Mason Mount to United, of course. How much?
My God.
How much was that, Sinead? How much was that?
My God, Basim. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, rate these major transfers out of 10. Right? Okay. Let's play a small mini game. Doris, if you're down, yeah, for 10 minutes, I'll be quick. Um, Mason Mount to United for me is a 3 at best.
Come on.
For United to promise him the famous number 7 shirt, the guys like the previous owners of the number 7 shirt at United would make you gag. All the way from George Best to Eric Cantona to Cristiano Ronaldo to Beckham to Mason fucking Mount. That's just that just doesn't make sense, man. He might be good, okay. He might be good, above average. Like he has hurt us in the Champions League. I'll never forget his goal against us at the Di Stefano. But come on, man. 70 million,
I mean,
400,
I have one more
300k
question.
wages or something.
Like, is left wing like his proper like original position, or does he play CM, CF? What is the position?
I have no idea. That's what these guys, some of the modern footballers, they suffer from. Like some people claim it as a plus. Like if Mason Mount was our player, we would claim it as a plus. Oh, he's versatile. But in my humble opinion, these guys, who can't nail down a starting position, they're just not good enough. I think Mason Mount, in theory, is some sort of a cam. That's what his best position is. Somewhere in and around the 10 spot. But the number 10s have completely been eradicated from the game. So it's just shit, bro. Just shit. Mason Mount. Yeah, on to the next one.
Manuel Ugarte from Sporting to PSG for almost a similar amount, around 50 mil.
I haven't seen much of him, but yeah, for PSG it might do the trick. Like I wanted to ask this to Doris. Have you seen much of Manuel Ugarte, Doris? No, right?
Who?
Yeah, so he's a young Uruguayan, 22 years old, DM from Sporting.
No, it wasn't a style like comment. Who? I didn't hear. I mean, look, PSG, it's a whole subject about him, about them. What is actually gonna improve that team? It wasn't Mbappe, it wasn't Neymar, it wasn't Messi, you know. So if they have something in mind, you know, that doesn't involve any of those, you know, big signings and actually, you know, like building something for the future, I say, or, you know, go for it. And they got Asensio now. Maybe, you know, he teaches them something. But for
Fair
Ugarte, I
enough.
don't know. And for Mount, I was just gonna say, like, there's a lot of, you know, players, and the way we talk about players right now, you know, and their positions, that I think is a very big problem. And especially, you know, when you play as, you know, as an amateur, you know, um, or, you know, like less professional leagues and stuff, like you don't really get a chance to be versatile, and you can do, you know, like you need to know where you're playing. And I think it's a huge problem when we talk about, oh, he can play that, he's best playing off of someone, he's best, like, that is, that doesn't have like a structure to it. And it oftentimes it sounds like excuses for some players, as if as if it's someone else's fault that they're not playing well, like they need someone else to play. That is, if you only have 50% of you to give because you need 50% of someone else, I don't look at it as a good thing, you know. If it's if we're looking at it that someone is versatile because he's really good at all those, like Kamavinga, for example, I would call that being versatile, because you can play, you know, another position completely different, you know. But if we're gonna talk about just like for midfielders, and you're not exceptional in any of those, but you can play
Mm,
all of them,
mm,
I don't look at it as a good thing, because no team is gonna build a team, you know, for Mason Mount, you know, and he won't bring a lot to a team, you know, that needs something specific, you know. But still,
100%.
it's still a good sign for them, you know. I wouldn't say that it's a bad sign for them, but do teams need something specific? I think so, because versatility doesn't mean much.
See, this is what I was discussing about Kai Havertz, in the last special, Jacob, if you remember,
Also, yeah, also I would name him too. I would name him especially, and also Felix.
Hmm.
That those are the kinds of players that we always mention together with someone else, and I don't look at it as a good thing at all.
I mean, the only place where those guys can kind of excel is somewhere like Man City, where they have a proper system where the Pep can actually make it work.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, yeah,
City's
and
system negates so much of
yeah,
the shortcomings of players like that. Like, see, who was that guy? The center back from Dortmund, Akanji. Who played right back, left back, center back for City. He just didn't look out of place. His deficiencies were masked out well by a well sought out system plan by fucking bald fraud. So there you go. I mean, Doris makes such a valid claim. That the modern generation of players, they really need to, for them. See,
we are
what is football
excusing
all
them
about?
also.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we are excusing a lot of players and the deficiency. You know, in some places. You know, and there have been like very big names that we've been excusing for that, because y- it only happens if you're not building, you know, a team for that player. Because if you are, okay, because he will get what he needs. But if you're not, there is no point in keeping that kind of player. I don't see any point in that. And versatility means nothing if you don't have a team for it. Absolutely nothing.
100%. Um, right. A couple of signings for the Femenino. Thanks for reminding me, Ashik. Muchas gracias. Raso from Australia. I think she's a striker. Yeah. She signed on from City. I've heard good things about her. I think it's a good signing. I don't know what's going to happen with Nahikari Garcia. Some people are going to be, drowning in their own tears because of that. But yeah, Nahikari, unfortunately, I think is on our way out. Oihane, from Bilbao is also a shrewd signing. People like Kenty was getting a little older, so I think she's gonna add some much needed competition on her right flank. Um, yeah, man, Jacob. I guess you're busy typing out a reply. Kangin Lee, yeah, to PSG.
Heck yeah, man.
I think it's a 5 at best. I don't know
Uh,
why
I
Kangin Lee would go to PSG.
I mean, it's always like that, right? Like with these talented kids who have basically been with the bottom half of a league, like the who play with defensive teams, you always expect them to get more assists, more goals when they step up to like a really good team. And the reality is that does not often happen. And I just hope because I've seen him on the ball, the boy is brilliant. He has the potential, so just gonna give it a 7 out of 10, just because of his potential. But he's not like a world beater yet, and probably never is gonna be.
Mm. He looks like a good player, decent player. Kangin Lee is a very decent player.
Yeah.
Right. Kim In Jae to Bayern. I would say that's somewhere like a 7, 8, because
Uh,
Bayern's center back issues. They had a few of them to deal with, and Kim In Jae gets a brilliant step up from Napoli. After just one season, that's brilliant business for Napoli all around. For Bayern, getting someone who is approaching his prime and whatnot. Um, yeah, man. Kim and Jae, very, very good signing.
yeah.
Who else? Who else are we missing?
Probably
Messi to
screams
Inter Miami.
10 out of 10. Let's go.
He gets to speak some Spanish finally in America. Yeah, living in Miami. I think it's gonna be mad, man. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Inter Miami are bottom of the league or something. It's that bad.
Yeah, I
Um,
do have a question. Like,
mm.
is MLS considered for the like the golden boot and stuff? Because I can easily like see Messi like scoring 60 goals a season.
I don't think they are. They have like what 10 teams or something.
Yeah,
You know,
who can't get
Bro,
relegated?
ISL I think is better. Not gonna lie, because the amount of acrobatic finishes that I see in the MLS, I'm like, what are the defenders doing?
Yep.
You know, like if you take out Instagram, you can see right, BR Football like posting a fucking screamer like every day.
Bro,
It's
it's all of these college kids who are like who just went on a scholarship saying, hey, like it's easy to break into US soccer, so I'll just go on a scholarship, get into a good university. Those guys are the guys who are playing defense and midfield, so it's it's good.
yeah. It's always gonna be amateur stuff. Who was it that you were gonna mention before I
Oh yeah,
interrupted you with Messi?
the big center back signing for PSG, Skriniar.
Skriniar, that should be an 8. Easy,
At least
easy.
an 8, yeah.
At least an 8. Marquinhos, they have to kind of have a succession plan. I think Skriniar is brilliant, brilliant. I've seen so much of his
McAllister,
Callister?
McAllister to Liverpool.
Liverpool,
Mm.
Personal.
Liverpool. Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's a good shout. Good shout. But Skriniar, man, so much respect for him. He's an absolute barrier for Inter Milan. I've seen the amount of times that he has saved them single-handedly. He's a beast. Bastoni gets all the attention. Skriniar is the decent
Workhorse.
sweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, workhorse. Absolute tank.
Uh,
Also, you can't
Inter
shrug him off.
lost Brozovic. That's also something. Inter lost Brozovic, and Brozovic was a huge part of that team.
Brozovic left
That
to Saudi.
Yeah, there's some complications about it. I think he was supposed to be paid 30, but now they're offering it 15 or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
But for Inter to lose Brozovic, and I mean he is kind of old, he's getting there. But the the kind of
He was a
player
major part.
Brozovic was, that dude is insane, and he
Brozovic is
doesn't
mad,
get
mad,
talk,
mad
he
good.
doesn't get talked about nearly enough. He
Because
broke
he
his
plays in
own
the same
record three
midfield.
times. Yeah, he broke his own record 3 times for running the most. I think I, I don't remember like how much he ran, but that dude is crazy. And I always thought like if we didn't have Casemiro, I would be praying for us to get him because he's just that kind of player, and yeah, I'm happy for him that he will get the money. Right now, it's not a lot, but still, but for Inter, I don't think we will see them being as serious as they would. It will be a huge
Yeah,
miss, in my opinion.
Inter has lost. Like they're gonna lose Onana as well.
Yeah,
To
I think
United.
Inter will be one of the biggest, teams to have, a bad season next season. They
Mm.
will lose a
Mm.
lot of players, and I think it's more to talk about them more than anything or anyone else, at the moment because they are experiencing a lot at the moment. And
Christian
Onana is, I
Pulisic.
think,
Yeah,
instead of De Gea, I think, and De Gea, I think today or whatever, I don't know
it was today.
when it happened, yeah. But there will also be something. So for Inter, it will be a long season, and for Milan also. But still, in Italy, we will see, a different Italy, and I'm happy about it. It will be interesting. And from this season that we saw with Napoli, something is cooking there, and I like it. Yeah, there are many like new younger players, but they will definitely be losing some. And I always say it's a shame when teams like that lose their best players like Onana, and because it's a shame that they have to do it to compete, but to compete they're still gonna have to buy new players that are gonna be a risk. They're not gonna be as good, and you're trying to get more players for the exact same money. It's a lot, and you're Inter or any other team like that. So it's something. And we talked about the season before last season. I'm sorry. We talked about Sevilla like a lot, and them losing their players. I said was a horrible thing. Like we were celebrating at the same time, but I said it's a horrible thing, and it's a horrible thing that a lot of players from La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga feel the need to play for
It's
the
either the Premier League money or
United
the Saudi money.
City. Yeah, yeah, and but it's also playing for big teams. Man, United is a huge team. Liverpool, Madrid, all of them are like huge teams. And it's sad that players are doing it because it's not gonna help teams be more competitive, like at all. And we are one of those teams that take those players, and I always feel bad. I always feel bad about it. And we talked about it. Whenever we have a transfer, I always have a bit of sadness and respect for the team they're coming from because you know you are basically when you're leaving your best player or selling your best player, you are basically risking everything
Yeah,
because of them.
yeah. Like
Because of
people would argue that like people were saying Jack Grealish like he was Aston Villa's talisman, but getting 100 million, people were saying, oh, you can reinvest that 100 million, but you're not getting Jack Grealish again. You're not getting the same player. So uh,
exactly. Yeah.
getting the money is not the end of the story. Hassan here, he says Chelsea signing Nicholas Jackson risky. Was wondering how he was a professional footballer first half of last season. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad, man. But Nicholas Jackson for 2 months, he was absolutely insane for Villarreal. How old is he, Jacob? Do you have any idea? He must be 25, right?
I
He's
think
not
it's
young,
24 or something.
right? 24, right. Yeah. What I've seen of him in the last 2 months, boy, he looks good. I hope Chelsea can finally do something. Their striker curse is mad. I
Yeah.
hope Nicholas Jackson can, outlive that. It'll be a difficult ask.
Before
Okay.
we finish, I wanted to ask, where do you think Mariano is gonna go, and what's gonna happen to Mariano? Because Ashik is in the chat and he's saying that he's free, and yes, I love his hairstyle, Ashik. I love it. But yeah, I'm actually really, really wondering what will happen to Mariano, and I'm wondering where he will go because I don't know. We are expecting him to go, somewhere to play in the first league of any country, but I doubt that it will
I
be
think
anywhere,
Liga.
important.
I think he might be interested in moving to Liga, and I think there'll be clubs that would take him 100%
Yeah,
because he has a track record there.
but he also hasn't played for years.
Well, I think it should be a
Years.
calculated risk. Yeah, it should be a
Years.
calculated risk. It's
Same
not going to be
for
easy. Mm.
Hazard. He hasn't played for years.
Yeah, Hassan is saying Mariano will go to City and displace Haaland. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I hope these Mariano memes end
Bro,
with
the
this
hairstyles on that
preseason.
team, the hairstyles on that team would be something.
Haaland
Bro,
and Mariano. Yeah,
bro, like, did you
Haaland
see?
is Foden with that whatever that is on his head.
that's a military trim, man. If you haven't
Yeah,
seen it before.
Have you guys seen the
we
latest
move on.
Mariana video? The one where he gets
Nah,
tattooed.
nah.
So usually when people get a big tattoo, they get it in multiple sessions. This guy decided to go under anesthesia and get 6 professionals worked on him like for the whole 3 hours, and he just woke up.
Fuck.
He's crazy, man. Imagine going under
So what?
general. He went under general anesthesia just to get a tattoo.
This is what undeserved money does to
My
MFs,
soul
bro.
left my body,
Unfortunately,
dude. My soul just left my body.
the less we talk about Mariano, the better. But yeah,
Oh man.
all love for him, man. Nothing much love for him. Yeah, Ashik, we discussed about Raso and Oihane. I'm excited, man, about what Femnino is going to do, and we are getting the number 10. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. Not gonna lie. Christian Pulisic to AC Milan. I don't know what the fuck Milan is doing. Even on a free Captain America, what is he gonna do? Yes, swap out shields. I don't know. Turn up in blue undies. Is that what we are getting into, man? Honestly, Milan should have better aspirations.
Wow.
I don't understand.
Wow.
I don't understand. Captain America is such a bad signing for them. Um, who else? McAllister, very good signing. I was very happy that from Hey Jude it went to Holla McAllister. But I think they have been sort of kind of trying to make up for missing out on Jude by signing McAllister and the other guy Soboslai, who I think is a phenomenal talent. From Hungary. Um, it took a while for Soboslai to actually truly break out into the European scene, but yeah, the last couple of years he has been pretty good, and 70 million in some sense is sort of a bargain for someone of his talent. Who else are we missing, Jacob? Quickly.
Maybe Inigo Martinez to Barcelona. That's a decent transfer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in the rounds, I think 2-3 months before the season ended. Remember, like we were hearing about Inigo Martinez already moving on a free.
Yeah.
And then itself, I was saying, Inigo Martinez is a proper old school center back, and it's gonna, further enhance Barcelona's midfield. I'm jealous, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Jealous,
like we missed a
100%.
big name, man. Angel Di Maria. He finally moves on, goes to a
Di
lower league.
Maria back to Benfica. I saw the pictures, so fucking adorable. The guy who played with him, absolute legend, Rui Costa, presenting Di Maria. It's nice. It's nice back home. So many of our fans absolutely can't stand the sight of Di Maria, but I have a special, affection for him. Just like Ozil, he was truly, something,
Bro, like,
extraordinary for us.
okay, like I know we'll like talk about this tomorrow, like, but Arda Güler, like he kind of has shades of Di Maria in him too.
You could say that. I see where you're coming from. But Di Maria wasn't this goofy. Like what Arda is. Arda was basically me at 15. I can relate to how he is. Yeah, very very fun character. We'll get into it further tomorrow. Right, a few more of the comments before we wrap this up. Rajat says, got 50% stake in Strasbourg as well. Who is he talking about?
Is it Conte? Yeah.
Kante.
Oh no no no!
N'Golo
It's
Kante.
no. It's Todd Boehly. Like
Todd Bowley. Yeah,
yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense. I read that somewhere. Yeah, Sandro Tonali to Newcastle, Mo Chelsea, good shout. I can't fucking believe it. I couldn't believe it. Sandro Tonali from Brescia, you know, from Brescia, just like Andrea Pirlo, he was supposed to be the next guy in line to take the mantle. For me, it was tough to stomach. Tough to stomach. People know I have a soft spot for Milan and Arsenal, and for him to take the paycheck and go to Newcastle, man,
I mean,
Gulf money, bro.
not just the
I
paycheck,
grew
Sunair.
up with
Like
Gulf money. I
not
can't
just.
believe what Gulf money is doing to football, bro. Like honestly,
I mean, with Milan, it's not just the paycheck. Like I feel like they're heading in a downward trajectory. Like after last season.
Milan. See, yeah, I know it's a downward trajectory, but the size, the stature of the club, bro, it's not gonna go away. They had a few banter years, but they're coming back. 100%. Without the American honors, Milan are on the way back sometime in the future. They should have stuck by it. Fucking was it Del Piero? It was Del Piero, right? Who stayed with Juve when they got relegated to the
Yeah.
Serie B.
Yeah.
He stuck with them. I don't know, man. Honestly, I just can't understand some of the decisions these young players are forced to make. Um, yeah, Vitor Roque for 75 million, Barcelona. 18 years of age, more expensive than even Vinicius. Um, Seems like a brilliant signing.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure they'll
I,
be.
I can't even like believe they were able to make that signing, man. Like I won't believe it unless they show the paperwork and then they do like a comunicado.
Well, who was it who was asking, for assurance to be registered before they sign on? Was it Vitor Roque or was it someone else?
I feel
Doris,
like
have
it
you heard anything about? Go on, Jacob.
was definitely Victor Roque, man. Like I feel like I've heard some news, like some Brazilian club demanded that from Barcelona.
Yeah, 100%. Doris, have you heard anything about Vitor Roque? Any idea? Next sensation?
No,
No, yeah.
I
Fair
have no
enough.
idea what you're talking about the last 15 minutes. You can see how quiet I am.
Okay,
I
fair enough,
wasn't,
fair enough,
yeah,
fair
I
enough.
wasn't even following what you were talking about.
Right.
The
Well, was it by choice or was it by circumstance, Doris?
both. You lost me at some point.
Fair enough,
We
fair
took
enough, fair
it.
enough. Right, right. Young Faro asks us chances of Ronaldo joining Messi in the MLS. No chance. No chance.
Yeah.
Zero. Zero. If you read up on Cristiano and his stuff in the US, you'll know why he won't go to the US. Um, Right, that's pretty much it, people. I think much love to everyone in the chat, for showing up on such short notice. It's been an absolute pleasure. Much love to all the fans who regularly, DMs us on Instagram, sending us their feedback. Keep sending it in, positive or negative. Any suggestions, you know, um, rebuttals, anything, feel free to hit us up any time of the day because I'll be there, 24/7. Um, Also, much love to our, audio listeners who made both of the preseason specials this year as, as one of the top six most played episodes of all time. Like I've been truly humbled by that because I didn't expect a preseason special to be, that well received. So yeah, man, much love for the love. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash the like. Spread the word. Get us to 1K. It has been 2 years of absolute madness. Blood, sweat, and tears. Like I always say, we are from different time zones. We sacrifice a lot of our, stuff to, kind of, put this together. Big up Doris, big up Jacob. Without these guys, this podcast is basically hollow. The conversation, the banter, and also you guys in the chat. I've always said it's a two-way conversation. Unless you guys don't put up with what we say and ask us shit, like this is never engageable. this is never an engaging conversation is what I meant. My bad. So yeah, man, much love. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification icons if you haven't already, because we have the Arda Gula special 3 p.m. EST tomorrow. 3 p.m. EST, I think 8 p.m. UK, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, watch out for that. Until next time, people. Hala Madrid.
Hello, Madrid.